Good morning and welcome to the Crafty Canary for In the Word on Wednesday. This month I want us to look at verses and passages that talk about joy. My last verse in Philippians that I shared with you is Philippians 4:4. Rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I will say rejoice. So I want to follow on that with looking at passages that talk about joy and gladness and rejoicing. And there are many in the Bible, but we'll look at one today from Psalm 100 verses 1 and 2. And it says, "Shout joyfully to the Lord, all the earth. Serve the Lord with gladness. Come before him with joyful singing." Now, this 100th psalm is a psalm of thanksgiving following a series of royal psalms that can celebrate the Lord's reign. It was often sung in ancient times and was used in the temple with the sacrifice of praise. In more modern times, the 1560s, it began to be sung in English to the tune that we know as the Doxology. So I want us to look at the three phrases that we see in these two verses. Each one of them has a reference to joy or to gladness. First, shout joyfully to the Lord, all the earth. Now, this is a command not only to the nation of Israel, but the whole earth to shout joyfully. Now, many times we are shouting, letting our voices be heard, but are we shouting joyfully? If we're letting our voices be heard, it's often in complaining or shouting out about wrongdoing. And while there is definitely a place for calling out wrongs and for seeking justice, let's make sure that we're not just complaining to be complaining or because we have nothing better to say. Let's be people who are thankful and who express our gratitude and our joy more than we express our frustrations. The next phrase, serve the Lord with gladness, has been especially meaningful to me as I have pondered on and meditated on these two verses. I truly want my life to be lived in service to the Lord, to my King. But am I doing this service with gladness? A few weeks ago, I talked about Philippians 2, 3, and 4, and how I sometimes do things for others with a sigh of frustration. I don't want to do that anymore. I want to serve the Lord and to serve his people with gladness and with joy. And finally, come before him with joyful singing. Now, you know I love this one because I'm a singer, but this is not just for people with musical giftedness and musical talent. It's for everyone. When people say, oh, I can't sing, and they don't sing in church or they don't want to sing in front of me or anybody else, I am famous for saying, God said, make a joyful noise, not a beautiful sound. And I say this to you today. Sing joyfully to the Lord. Belt it out in the car, in the shower, on the street as you take your morning walk, in church as you worship corporately with fellow believers. Let's worship him today with our hearts, with our service, and with our voices. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next week.